Hey YouTube, Jim here. Welcome to Top 10 Archive. You know we love to debunk myths from time to time, but we also love to give you a good scare. This time, we'll be talking about how your favorite mythical creatures may not be so mythical after all. From unicorns to hobbits and even sea serpents, we'll go through the top 10 mythical things that likely existed. But before we get started, why not become an archivist today by clicking that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. If you end up enjoying this video, let us know by giving it a thumbs up, and in the comment section, tell us what mythical thing you think likely existed. Number 10. Unicorns. Unicorns may sound like something from the movies, theme parks, and Starbucks drinks, but really they may be somewhat real. Sure, they're not going to be white horses with large horns coming from their foreheads, but maybe a distant cousin. The Siberian unicorn was a previously existing animal similar to a rhinoceros. Though not as graceful as the actual unicorn, the Siberian unicorn was the size of a mammoth and had a large, thick horn on its forehead. It used it mainly to defend itself and drive away competitors, as well as to search for food and resources. Also, it looked great. Despite being quite large, the Siberian unicorn was allegedly adapted to gallop with a horse-like gait. With many different types of mammals with horns on their heads, the likelihood of a unicorn-type animal existing, even for a short period of time, is entirely possible. Number 9. Hobbits. Hobbits owe a lot to Tolkien, who made them almost attractive. In 2008, at Flores Island in Indonesia, partial skeletons of 4 different people were found. Only one had a complete skull. When inspected, it seemed that these remains were a distant species of humans with just a few small differences. The Homo floresiensis seems to have stood at just 3.5 feet tall. We don't know how attractive they may have been or if they held powerful rings or not, but we can say they probably existed. Number 8. Vampires. Now, you're going to think we're talking crazy, but depending on your definition of vampire, there may be one out there today, even in your lifetime. It's said that vampires these days vary between people who actually consume blood and those who feed on people's energy. Whether or not you believe in that, there are a ton of blogs out there about these people with rules, regulations, how-tos, and secrets about these creatures that have for so long been spoken and written about. Though, sorry to disappoint, the type of vampire that we depict in Hollywood that lives for hundreds of years and can turn into a bat probably never existed. Number 7. Mermaids. Is this starting to seem like a list in which we crush the ideas of mythical creatures that you had? Good! That's exactly what this is, because that photoshopped, beautified Instagram version of your idyllic mermaids doesn't exist. In fact, mermaids, though mentioned and written about by many, are first identified as a real animal in the diaries of Christopher Columbus. Looking back, the encounter described by the explorer talks about beautiful fish-tailed maiden. Let's take into account that beauty standards and perceptions change over time, so perhaps a beautiful maiden in Columbus's age wouldn't quite make it on the cover of Sports Illustrated today. What's likely is that Columbus just ran into a manatee, an animal which often gets confused for some sort of mermaid. Number 6. Phoenix. I would actually not be surprised if a lot of people admitted to not knowing what a phoenix was until Harry Potter came out. Some stories speak to us more than others, I guess. And though the phoenix has been mentioned countless times in literature, we can't seem to get past the fact that these amazing animals aren't real. Or are they? Well, no. But we know what animal people got the idea from. The answer might surprise you. Flamingos, with their hues of pink and red, may have led to the origin of the phoenix story. While it may seem far-fetched, since these birds lived mostly on salt flats, the convection currents would swell and flicker like fire, which would easily blow everyone's minds and cause storytellers to go nuts. Number 5. Cyclops. Whether portrayed as sweet, humble giants or massive enemies that will crush you with their fists, Cyclops in literature aren't the cutest creatures. It's hardly even questioned that these mythical beings would even exist. However, there are several theories as to which real-life beings sparked the idea for writers. One is a type of elephant that had a horn in the middle of its head. The other actually bears the name of Cyclops. Cyclopia is an extreme congenital disorder in which human and animal fetuses fail to properly divide the orbits of the eyes, creating a one-eyed baby. It happens very rarely and usually leads to a lack of a nose, and most generally die in the uterus or are stillborn. Not quite the strong Cyclops we had in mind, but just as scary. Number 4. Zombies. No, we're not full of it. Real-life cases of zombie behavior do exist. Maybe not in humans, but we might not be too far from it, to be honest. For one, let's look at this video of a praying mantis who had long ago been controlled by a parasite, which then exits the body after the mantis is dead. Well, actually the mantis had been dead for a while. The parasite was just controlling it. What? I know. There's also the case of the zombie deer disease, causing the brains of deer and similar animals to turn to mush, get this, while they're alive. Scientists are doing their best to keep it from evolving to infect humans, but you never know.
Resident Evil.
Number 3. Chupacabra. Though we don't hear much about the Chupacabra, this mythical creature has been featured in many Latin American myths. It's supposed to ravage cattle and livestock, in effect ruining the livelihood of hundreds of families. It's a type of animal vampire that comes at night and sucks the blood and guts out of these poor animals. Now, research says that according to the description, this creature might actually exist in Puerto Rico. Whether or not it's true is yet to be known, but several accounts also say the Chupacabra might have been a Mexican hairless dog all along. Number 2. Loch Ness Monster. If you haven't heard about Nessie the Loch Ness Monster, then you must be new to the channel. The Scottish myth is a crowd favorite and may actually be true. While many say photos and sightings of the animal are totally false and mistaken for other things, some think the creature could be a plesiosaur or at least a descendant of the dinosaur, as descriptions of it sound just alike and have been made around several large lakes around the world. Though there are people who claim they were related to the person who started the hoax, to expedition dives coming up empty-handed, it still makes you wonder what's out there, knowing as much as 90% of the ocean's animals have been identified. Number 1. Sea serpents. Sea serpents are a type of mythical sea dragon described in several mythologies. While descriptions can vary from the generic to the hyper-specific and terrifying, there's one fish that could have started it all. The giant oarfish is the world's longest bony fish. Though its appearance is a lot like a ribbon, it's not much of a party. The coloration on its body is mostly silver with dark markings and red fins. Since it often swims in waves, many people think that it's a sea serpent out to kill them. Thanks for watching. It's no myth, it's completely true. You can become a Top 10 Archivist today by subscribing right now and clicking the notifications bell so we can let you know right away when a new video is uploaded. Be sure to give this video a like, then let us know in the comments what mythical thing you think likely existed.